Hi everyone, this is going to be another factory tour of the updates I have made since last time and the recent update which made changes to faster overhead, passing belts, and kind of the loading and unloading speed of the, what do we call them, storage racks. So join me on my quick walk along tour as I come in. Look at this amazing every stats for the day right here. I know what I got to turn on and off just to make sure. And 36 emissions. All of them came from misclassification errors from automation. That's how this works. So while I'm over here, let's get started. These entrances are a little special because they have so many belts lined up. I only need one of these just to be sure. It did work out without it, but this was my little safety net just in case. As well as everything else comes around and we meet the back end. Of course, it's the back end because it's behind the scenes processing and sorting all of your packages for you. These, after the updates, they load and unload much faster. I got away with 2 of these storage racks and enough belts lined up that I could store 1 full shipment on here so I could try to pass them through faster. In between shipments, they load onto the rack and come off. And that's the same across. Everything's the same back here. I got enough storage racks based on last time. Not much has changed. I did reorganize. We'll get to it in a moment of the extra rows I added over there. Again, if we can think how I optimize this even further, if you got ideas, comment them below. It'd be great to hear about it. Otherwise, I call this is my new super compact design Mark II. It combines the long that's 3 tiles wide, it gets 4 tiles wide now, and in exchange I saved 1 or 2 tiles in length, which I really like because it gives me more sorting space out front. So as you can see, they come along, they get sorted, get wrapped back around, and then by the end I have a all belt merger just so I can get them both sides. Saved another tile by doing that. And then I store them in the buffers. And I call them buffers because if you just think through it, one belt has 100% capacity. It gets split out into roughly 50-50, which means I got 50% of a belt out front. So when I got 50% times 5 belts, that's 250%, but they only give me 2 export bays. So I'm overloaded anyway. I need a buffer. And I put all the buffers right here because the belts are going to be overloaded. This is where they back up. I did find some improvements where I had to condense this even more, push it back further, just to leave an extra space here to alleviate... what was it? I got a lot of stuck packages when I had 2 of these, I called that like the branch and trunk combiner. Right next to each other, they would just get caught up a lot right after these belts. So going through, they're all the same. The green ones, based on the math, I mean, technically I could get away not having these, but why not? I like just everything being the same, just nice and flush, fluid, just nice and clean. And if you're a, semi-OCD on optimizings like this, probably a little OCD, and it's a bit sexy. So, coming down from the beginning, I can just hop up on one of these, and I like hopping up on one of these posts. It's great. So all of the failure ones come down, and I'll do it from the center just to make a little thought process here. Because I got 2 export bays, there's a third belt that has to be split in both directions. And because I already know what these are, they're only going to one location. This just splits it directly into a left towards the export over there, and the other path, which goes in the back over here. So I went through quite a bit of mathing and logic, and I was like, well, you know, I could extend this path over, but then I need how many more bridges? I just cut that out, add some space over here, and then just pop them over the happy paths on the way out of here. Each successful package comes through a the package diverter. I have it set this one up for rail on this side. Anything else goes down this way. So rail comes through under all the belts. It's its own dedicated export line over there, and then gets split into those two. We'll see that in just a second because we'll watch the rest over there. But they are all the same. It's nice, copy paste, nice and simple. Everything else comes over. We hit the road, and now the road, the same thing. Split it over, and it goes down and over that way. And they all go that way. It's just one path. Everything else, air shipments, sea shipments, continue to come forward, and then they go the opposite direction. Because it just made more sense than to shove everything done that way, come back over here. I can just come down here. Here's my splitter. They're close to each other. Divert it. What the heck happened here? Look at that. Errors happen live. There goes my winning streak. You saw it here, folks. First time, give me a like for emotional support. But they come down over here. It gets split. You know, not too much going on over here. This was a fun little area. I just kind of left it this way. Maybe reorganize it. Makes it a little irrelevant at this point. Comes around, and I sent it over one more time just to get it on the right side. I didn't have to put a bridge over on the other side, you know, down on the end over here, and anything else like that. So at the end of each, as we call them, like rows and columns, kind of this grid layout, matrix, lattice work, so many words you could call it. Just comes along, gets its approval stamp, comes on over. I had extra space over here this time because of the bridges and everything work better, that I split it out into two ways so that these are sideways. I get a little more storage space than putting them the other way. Worked out better, so then I wasn't having backups over here because it does take a small delay. Otherwise, you know, not too much going on over here. Those are just starting to fill up, but we got a few more shipments, a few more deliveries left for the day, and not much should happen. So for the last, you know, roughly 30 seconds, we just get up here. Let's do a long pan for the audience. Take it all in. Isn't it amazing? Just look at it. Shing, sparkle, sparkle. Look at all that work. It's so neat. It's clean. Just look at all of this work. And with 10 seconds left, the day is going to come to a close pretty soon. And look at that closing bell. I would love for everyone to stay around. And you know, you could just watch me just sit and make overtime right now. Because hey, they're not just gonna pay me to sit here. Well, they are paying me to sit here, but they're paying me to watch all these packages. That's how it works. So, with that, let's go break the laws of physics, walk through some trees. We can sit, look at this, and we'll end the day. Hey, thank you everyone. This has been great. I'm TheLastGMan. I do enjoy games like this and other stealth games and kind of first-person shooters on stealth aspects. You got ideas? Hey, post it below and you might see this content next time. Also, if you're not following me on Twitch, please follow me on Twitch. Get 25 followers, and the fun keeps happening. Thank you, and we'll catch you next time.